Alright, what's up, guys? So Coaster Studios, his video just came out of his top 10 worst coasters he's ridden in 2017. I've been kind of looking forward to this one. However, I think I know a few that are in here. However, I'm a little excited to see if anything's changed, but let's just get right into this.
When you go to an amusement park, the end goal is to have fun, to enjoy yourselves. And so to help do that, amusement parks build roller coasters. And when they do that, they hope that their guests will like them, scream a little, have a good time.
Alright, so he's starting to go sarcastic mode.
A roller coaster that was just flat out bad. Not bad as in it was scary, but bad as in they tried to make it an enjoyable roller coaster and it ended up causing more harm than good. Sometimes you can tell this by the roller coasters that have built up a reputation and not in a good way. A lot of times they'll have shorter lines, and sometimes they're still popular with the public despite that a lot of people really don't like them. And I'm at the point where I've ridden almost 430 different roller coasters, and so you come across some bad rides. Every single ride on this list I would not recommend experiencing, with the exception of to ride it once just so that you could say you've ridden it, get the credit, but after that you really don't need to ride it again. Either they're rough, uncomfortable, or just not a pleasant experience. So as much as I like to find the good in some rides, there are some rides out there that you just have a hard time enjoying. This is how I rank them. Coming in at number 10, the least bad on this list, are Vekoma Boomerangs. Every single ride here is the exact same.
Okay, so that didn't change. Last year, I think his number 10 was Vekoma Boomerangs.
Maybe a different braking mechanism, updated trains, that kind of thing. But they all have the same layout.
So I rode my first boomerang this summer, which is Flying Cobras. I didn't find it to be that bad. I thought it was actually pretty fun, though.
Now, these aren't necessarily bad roller coasters, but here's the thing. There are so many of them out there. You can find one of these all across the world. So when you get to the point where you've ridden so many roller coasters, it gets really annoying when you keep on having to ride these things over and over again. They're not re-rideable. Some of them are a lot rougher than others. Some of them aren't that bad.
There's Flying Cobras. That's the one I rode.
Itself, I just kind of dread riding. Every time it comes to a Vekoma Boomerang, I'm like, ugh, one of these things again. And that shouldn't be the way with a roller coaster. You should look forward to wanting to ride it. But next up on the list is a coaster in the middle of nowhere. This is Desperado at Buffalo Bills Hotel
Alright,
and Casino,
that moved down, I
Primm,
think.
Nevada. This ride is really tall, really fast, and really rough and jerky. It's kind of earned itself the nickname Desperadon't. And I can see why some people might enjoy this coaster, but this was just not a ride for me. With speeds that fast and a ride so tall, it has so much potential to have some awesome elements. However, this one, it just didn't do it for me. It was not a comfortable...
I have mixed opinions on this ride.
Moving on, we're heading to Carowinds for a very uncomfortable stand-up.
Yo, thank you. Okay, finally.
This ride is one with stand-up coasters. If you're a dude, they really can be painful.
I hated this thing. I rode it this summer for the first time. It was just bad. It was like rough, jerky, headbangy. It was horrible.
But it's done while turning your legs to jelly, and that area right below your waist is probably getting beaten to a pulp. I mean, I've ridden some stand coasters that I actually like, but Vortex, unfortunately, is not one of them. But next we're moving on to a ride that I would consider just plain stupid. This is Laron's Vekoma Looping.
Oh no.
I don't even know how to pronounce this. Super Menage, Super Menage, Super Nicki Minaj. Like, I don't know.
Shut up, Taylor. Oh my god.
Bang your head on the restraints.
That was actually funny though.
It almost felt like a carnival coaster. I rode it to get the credit, and I don't plan on experiencing it again. It was one of those rides where I was kind of asking myself, why is this here? Like, it didn't do anything special.
It looks really dumb, to be honest. I probably agree with him.
It just didn't really do anything. I got off and I said, why
it's a terrible color scheme as well.
Exist? So, screw this ride. But let's actually go back to Carowinds. This is a coaster right next to Vortex. It's Nighthawk.
Okay, like,
another Vekoma.
I mean, he moved it down, but like, it wasn't that bad. I don't get it. It really, I mean, yeah, it was kind of bumpy here and there, but it's not as bad as people say it is. I don't get it.
Favorite coasters. I've only ridden it a couple of times, and just every time, I just get off and I'm like, I didn't enjoy that. It feels significantly shakier, and when you're in a flying position, you want to be able to glide and feel like you're flying, not that you're in an aircraft about to plummet towards the ground because it is falling apart. That's probably the closest I can get to describing what
it's not even that bad. Like
so I tend to stay away from this ride when I go to Carowinds. And oh, looky here, we have another stand-up coaster. This is Apocalypse.
Okay,
This is Six Flags
what?
America. Definitely has better theming than Vortex. I actually really like the theming on this ride, but I don't know what the heck happened. The first few times I rode it, I really didn't think it was that bad. But
What
then the
is
last time
wrong
I
with
rode
him
it,
this year?
like,
This
it was
wasn't even that bad.
significantly worse. It was really shaky, and this is a B&M. It shouldn't be like that.
Honestly,
I
it's
understand
not
this
even
is the
rough.
first
Like, it was
B&M,
really
so they shouldn't
smooth,
give it that
and
much of a hard
I mean,
time.
yeah,
But looking
headbanging
at
here and
the
there, but
just
it's not that bad.
don't enjoy. Apocalypse was one of them. I'll watch it. I think it's actually a really pretty ride, but actually getting on it, I was not a fan of, which is quite a shame, really, because I did think that this coaster had some potential. A coaster, however, that does not have any potential is Time Warp at Canada's
There you
Wonderland.
go.
What a piece of garbage. It's a Zamperla Volaire,
Oh.
and it's their version of a flying coaster. This ride is just stupid. Like, you go up this spiral lift hill, which is
Honestly,
kinda
looks
neat.
like
You
the
have, a
dumbest roller
series of
coaster in
dips,
Canada.
A couple of inversions. It's a compact layout, and the restraints you're in are really bizarre. You go up into like standing position, and you basically get in these like metal cages. You feel like you're in prison, and you proceed to go along some jerky turns, uncomfortable transitions, and for a second I actually thought that this was worse than Flight Deck, and that's considered like Canada's Wonderland's worst roller coaster. However, this is right next to it. I'd say it's just as bad. So we've made it to our top 3. Number 3 is Ninja, Six Flags.
Alright, there it is.
This ride, like, I don't even know why it's still around. I feel like this is
That
a
was
coaster
his number
that should
2
have
last
been torn
year,
out
so
ages
what's
ago,
gonna be number
but
2
for
this
some
year?
reason,
I don't
it's
know.
still there. It was actually built by 2 different manufacturers because one of them dropped out halfway through, so another had to pick back up and complete the track work. And so the ride is extremely rough and painful.
So I keep talking during this, but I have a question. Can you guys comment down in the section below? Is this, if you've ridden this, is it really that bad? Because, like, I mean, it doesn't look that good, but, like, I don't know if it's as bad as people say it is. I just really want to know.
It makes the ride that much worse. So that was a dumb idea, but then again, this whole ride was a dumb idea. It does not belong in a park like Six Flags St. Louis. It belongs in the dumpster behind Six Flags St. Louis.
Oh,
As for our
roasting
number
them.
2 roller coaster, it's an icon. It's the New York roller coaster, the Big Apple coaster.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Express and also formerly Roller Coaster. What a great name, guys. But you want to talk about a roller coaster that was probably designed by people
I just noticed something,
a roller coaster? This about sums up that statement. Its layout makes no sense. It was built by Togo, which they're famous for building some of the sketchy coasters in Japan, and they also
Yeah,
shot
Batman
It's the
from
reason
Six Flags
that
Fiesta
it's been
Texas, the
removed
4D
for
free
good
spin,
reason,
is not
versus
on here,
Sky
so,
Rider
like,
Canada's Wonderland, which was removed for
wait, did he
good
go
reason.
to Fiesta
Why
Texas
this
this
one
year?
is still around, I don't know. It also
Like, did it get
costs,
better?
like, way
I don't
too
know.
much money to ride. I know a lot of people actually consider this the worst roller coaster of all time. The only rides I would actually consider worse than the Big Apple coaster are
Vekoma
SLCs.
SLCs.
I'm lumping them together because there are a ton of them. You may know them as Mind Eraser, Flight Deck. You also have T3. I've also experienced the Great Nor'easter and Maurice Pierce, but apparently that one's actually good now, so I'm not really counting that one. But when I rode it, it was crap. But these all have the same layout.
I rode
You
one
have
Vekoma
some
SLC
very
Mind Eraser at
strange,
Six Flags
but the
America. It
restraints
was
are
garbage.
I'd
It's,
like to judge
it even
based
gave
on
my
how
friend's
cool
sister a
each
bloody
ride is,
nose.
because none of the restraints
It was
are
like,
good.
it was awful.
It pretty much just
It was
depends
just
on which
terrible.
one is worse than the other. It's just varying degrees of pain. So what makes these rides so bad? I mean, actually the layout is pretty solid. It's just poor execution. If a different manufacturer took a Vekoma SLC layout and did it themselves, I think it would actually be a very good ride. That being said, because Vekoma did it, it's actually the worst thing ever. Remember how some of these coasters I was talking about?
I
how
would
they are
love to
rough,
see B&M
jerky,
do these
shaky,
things.
feel like you're
I mean, I
bouncing
wouldn't
all
love
over
to,
the
because then they'd be
place,
cloned.
probably bashing your head
But,
into
like,
the
I think if
restraints.
B&M did
Yeah,
these,
none of
they'd be
those
pretty
coasters
cool.
do that
They're
as
really
bad
compact,
as
so.
Vekoma SLCs. I pray that none of you ever have to experience a Vekoma SLC, and if you do, I hope it's just for the credit and that's the first and last time that you ride them. There's lots of great roller coasters out there, but of these 10 that I mentioned, I wouldn't consider any of these a good ride. Now for this list, I did exclude kiddie coasters and currently defunct rides, because there are some roller coasters that are no longer around that would make this list for like worst coasters I've ever ridden. But all of these rides that I mentioned are currently in operation. I wouldn't complain if all of them were destroyed.
Okay, so, like,
but
why is
that's
Iron
just my
Dragon,
opinion. I wanna hear from you. What are some of the worst
Corkscrew,
roller coasters you've ridden? And also
and
post
Green
if you
Lantern
agree
on
with
the
me and you think
front,
this list
like,
makes
page
sense,
of this
if you
thing.
didn't like some of these
They
rides,
were,
or if you think I'm wrong,
I don't know, maybe you
and
just
you
put those
actually
there.
like
I
some
know
of
they're
these
probably,
experiences.
they're
Let
pretty
me know,
bad,
and
but,
of
like,
course, make sure
I'm
to hit that
surprised he didn't,
subscribe
like,
button if
put
you're new to
the
Coaster Studios.
Fly.
And you can stay
What?
tuned for more countdowns soon.
Okay, so I don't know how I felt about that. Real quick, I'll just break down and see what I agree. Number one, SLC's totally agree. Number two, Big Apple Coaster, probably agree. Three is Ninja, agreed. Four is Time Warp, agreed. Five, Apocalypse, I don't agree with that. I was really surprised and a little disappointed at that. Um, I'm one of the only people who actually think Apocalypse is decent. I didn't think it was great, but it was an okay ride. Six, Nighthawk, I don't really agree with that. I think it should have been a little lower. It's kind of too high. Seven as, how do you even pronounce that? It's like, uh, Super Minaj. I don't even. Oh, number eight is Vortex. Oh yeah, I agree. Number nine is Desperado. I don't know. I have mixed opinions on that. And 10 for Boomerangs. I don't know. Maybe. But so that was Taylor's top 10 worst coasters he's ridden in 2017. I thought it was pretty good. I agreed with it for about the most part, except for one or two coasters, including Nighthawk and Apocalypse. But other than that, it was a pretty good list. I did enjoy that way more than I enjoyed his top 20 countdown or top 25. So I thought it was pretty good. If you've seen it, so dumb. Actually, just saw it because whatever. What did you think of it? Did you agree with him or not? Did you agree with me that I thought Apocalypse was kind of high and Nighthawk was kind of high? But yeah, until next time, coaster fans. See you later.